It's day 4 of my trip down the Petawawa River. The first 3 days took me through the upper section and a lot of challenging whitewater. But the gamble I took choosing a kayak for this trip instead of a canoe paid off. Although I did need to get creative and drag my kayak around a few sketchy drops, I was able to paddle through most of the rapids, avoiding all 6 miles of potential portages. Yesterday was particularly tough. It took me 10 hours on the water to travel 18 kilometers to where I am now, Lake Travers, the starting point of the lower section. And while a good chunk of the Petawawa's most difficult whitewater is behind me, it's far from over.
Nice. Oh yeah. Gotta leave room for Baileys. Today, I'm going about the same distance as yesterday. So it's a big day. I do have to get a reasonable start, but there's not nearly as much whitewater and not nearly as much challenging stuff. There is really just 2 rapids that are going to be somewhat challenging. The first one is going to be Crooked Chute. And Crooked Chute is definitely one of the tougher ones on the river. And then Rollway Rapids, which should be pretty straightforward. I don't even think I'm going to bother portaging any of my gear around. But yeah, probably another pretty close to a 20-kilometer day. Check that out right there. All right, time to pack all this gear in the boat. And to let you know a little bit about my strategy for doing that, I have a ton of little dry bags. It's the only way I can fit things in all the nooks and crannies. But what I'm doing is I'm packing the food in the back of the boat, and I'm packing my sleeping stuff, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, up in the front of the kayak. And the idea there is that I want the front to be lighter when I'm going through whitewater. If one end's going to be heavier than the other, I want it to be the back of the boat so that the bow is more inclined to stay on the surface. But ideally, I want to be as balanced as possible. The tent I'm putting right behind the seat. It's one of the heavier things. And so I'm trying to focus as much of the weight right here behind the seat. This space here is pretty big, so I can fit my tent. And that's actually where I've been putting either my camera gear or snacks, the heavier things, not the light snacks. And the final touch is my clothes, which I put on the back deck, because again, it's fairly light and bulky, but it's pretty light. And you don't want anything heavy on the deck, because that just makes you top heavy, which you don't want. All right, we're off. Another really nice campsite. That is one of the great things about Alqonquin, is there's so many good campsites. The flip side is firewood is really hard to find, take some real effort. Fortunately for me on this trip, I've had no desire for a fire whatsoever. Jeez. Well, that was either the dumbest or the sleepiest turtle ever. I was busy looking at the camera, trying to get a shot of it gliding in, and I didn't realize how close I was to it until all of a sudden I see in the frame my bow, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna knock this turtle off the log. They never let you get that close. Unless they're really dumb or really tired. All right, so we're back to the fun stuff. This is Big Thompson Rapid, followed by Little Thompson Rapid, and this is where the lake ends and the river really starts, and it has a very different character. Bugs, 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 bugs. Skeg is up. All right. This is a good flow. I like this. All right, so now we got Little Thompson. Now that we're in the river, this should be faster moving. We've got some real current. There are still some flat sections, but there probably should be a little bit of current even in those sections. Guess we'll soon find out, but this should have some nice waves here. What is that? Oh, it's a chipmunk going for the big crossing. Nice, buddy. Go, go, go. Oh, he knows I'm there. He thinks I'm gonna eat him. Oh no, it's okay, buddy. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. You got this. Almost there. The last little bit. Oh, and then he scales the rocks, the cliff. Bald eagle sitting right there. That was cool. Huh. I bet he just had a meal. Well, I got another 4 kilometers or so. There's some current, a little swift, but about 4 kilometers before the Whitewater starts again. And then I'm pretty much into it for a while. So that'll be good. This place is almost fake. It's just too perfect. Well, time to swap the hat for a helmet. This is Rollway Rapids, and it's followed pretty closely by Crooked Chute. Crooked Chute is a pretty long rapid, and it's pretty mellow for the, well, really until the very end. And so got a good long section of cruisy whitewater with, well, it ends with a bang. This is a much more civilized way to cover miles. Right on. Next up, Crooked Chute. It's like a kilometer of just cruisiness. And then the Scout. All right, so I'm liking the looks of it. Definitely gonna walk the gear around to be safe. Be much easier to run it without the gear, so definitely walking the gear around, and then it's pretty good to go. A nice, fairly straightforward line right down the top part, and then the bottom part keeps coming around the corner here, and there's a bit of a move down here that I'll probably sneak a little. Again, just to be super conservative, but it won't be a bump and grind sneak like some of the ones yesterday. So it should be good. Oh, mosquitoes, mosquitoes. Oh. Thank you, paddle, for taking the beating that you do. You're appreciated. All right, Roll, we're right into it, aren't we? Bump, 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 bump. Ooh. There we go. Oh, that cooled me down nicely and washed the bugs off. Excellent. All right, this is what they call the most challenging rapid, especially with the skeg down, that you'll run in a canoe. It's just a long rapid. It's almost a kilometer long of boulder garden with a decent ledge towards the bottom that you definitely need to be in the right spot for. But I will be putting my helmet on for this rapid. Man, that sun. All right, so now we got the first of the Natch Rapids. This is pretty. This is the Natch Rapids number 2. And that pretty much does it for the Whitewater. Now it's off to camp. Happy times. What a day. What a good day. In every way. Beautiful weather. Beautiful company. And great paddling. And the gorgeous campsite. And it just so happens that this campsite has no bugs. Well, it's pretty easy to see why this is a prized campsite on the Petawawa River. I mean, it's a beautiful big site, but look at that view. Pretty awesome. But it'll be even more awesome on top of there, and I still have a bit of time left, and so I'm gonna make the trek up. It's not a well-marked trail, but I do have time to get up there and watch the sun set over the Petawawa Valley. Let's do it. Whew, hot. Oh my. Wow. What a spot. The only thing that would make this a little bit better would be like a nice cold beer. Oh, like that. 4 days I've lugged this thing. 4 days I've lugged it around in my boat, waiting for the perfect moment. This qualifies as a perfect moment. Wow. Well, mosquitoes chased me into the tent, but it's not a bad thing. It's a big day and need my beauty sleep. Tomorrow, don't have any serious whitewater, just a lot of chill swifts, long sequences of class 1 and 2, and so can cover some miles tomorrow with very little concern. So should be fun. Be tomorrow before we know it, because I am saying good night. Pretty spectacular campsite, but there's definitely truth that there's no such thing as a perfect campsite. This one has a very, very healthy population of mosquitoes, which isn't that surprising. It's a lot of swampy, marshy bits right around us. See you, Natch. Well, a bit of a change of plans. Today, I was actually supposed to have a layover day, a down day. I was planning on hanging out at the Natch, doing the hike to the top, doing a bunch of fishing out here, and just relaxing after a pretty hard bunch of days getting here. But to be honest, the bugs, the mosquitoes were just too much to be able to actually relax and enjoy it. It was a constant onslaught. And that combined with the fact that I did the hike last night in the primo time, beautiful sun, watching almost the sunset. I mean, I checked that box. So, you know what? I decided to keep going. And I'm not sure how far I'm gonna make it. This section down here is beautiful. A lot of flat water, but there's also a lot of just moving water, class 1, just flying, covering miles, weaving around rocks. It'll be just really beautiful and fun. But there's no real anticipation for what's to come at this point, except just enjoying the day. So I'm gonna see where the day takes me.
So this is Schooner Rapids, 2 kilometers of just cruisy goodness. So let's cruise. Let's cruise. Cruising. Hop, hop. You know, some people have commented in the past about, why aren't you wearing a helmet through whitewater like this? And the answer is pretty simple. It's, I don't need one. I mean, it doesn't mean everyone doesn't need one in whitewater like this, but I just have the experience to know I don't need one in here. The chances of me flipping in here are the same chances as me tripping and falling on the hike that I did up at the Natch yesterday. You know, should I have worn a helmet for that hike? No, the difference really is hiking, everybody understands their limits. But with whitewater, you need the experience to truly understand your limits. And that you're gonna hit this rock right here. Whoa. Oh, I showed it my butt. Oh, and another one, very shallow here. If you don't have that experience, and it takes a lot of experience, then you just don't know, and so you have to play safe. And so I'm not saying that it's not a smart idea to wear a helmet in whitewater like this. What I'm saying is that I don't need to, because I have the experience to make that judgment call. Oh, this is nice. This sure beats flat water. I mean, I don't mind flat water paddling, but I've said it once and I'll say it again. I've always loved using gravity to my advantage, and that is what we're doing right now. All right, 5 Mile Rapid.
This rapid just got very spread out at the bottom. Oh, I'm just barely scraping by here. Oh, I think I might have made it through. I was sure I was going to get stuck there for a while. Nice. Well, that'll do it. 5 Mile Rapid. Well, I just made it through one of the most beautiful lakes in the park, Whitson Lake. Sorry for not showing it. You are going to have to go and see that one yourself. But I'm now in Smith Lake, and this is where I'm supposed to camp. And I've passed a couple of nice campsites already, but it's early. And the bugs are pretty voracious right now. I'm only 8 kilometers from the takeout, and so change of plan again. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to grind out the last 8 kilometers of flat water and finish this trip early. You know, without any more whitewater. I feel okay with ending this one early, especially because I've got a couple more trips coming right up, and I've got to start planning for those. Take some of the things I've learned from this trip, but I've got some really exciting trips, a couple of short ones, but then next month I'm heading to Lake Superior and doing my first multi-day, pretty good sized trip, about a 6-day trip on Lake Superior, and that's very exciting. And then, well, got more trips after that. Lots of trips coming up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this adventure. It's been amazing. You know, I've been wanting to see the upper section of the Petawawa River for so long, and not only did it not disappoint, but it exceeded my expectations, and I had high expectations for it. So highly recommend it. You know, you have to be ready for a mission, but what a mission it is up there and down here from Lake Travers down. Incredible river, incredible river. Definitely something to put on your bucket list. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video. I already mentioned this earlier, but I'll be doing a follow-up video to the expedition video about how I packed and all the gear that I brought on this trip. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that I liked and would definitely bring again, and some of the things that I wouldn't bring next time. And so full gear rundown, stay tuned for that one coming right up. Otherwise, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Ask any questions down below. Give the video, the adventure, the expedition, give it a thumbs up, please, if you like this thing. And otherwise, we'll see you again soon for another paddling tip, paddling gear review, or not just paddling, outdoor gear review and backcountry adventure. All right, 8 more kilometers to go. It's not gonna do it by itself. This is where a little motor would be nice. You know, I get motors in the right place, right time. I get it. Like right now, I'd use a motor. But the fact that I don't have a motor makes me feel I'm gonna tough it out. 8 kilometers of flat water in a whitewater boat after doing 16 kilometers. Yeah, motor would be nice.